sports fans and Steeler Nation. This is Steeler Nation Live. I'm Big O, and my counterpart,
Big Tiz.
Cooler than the other side of the pillow. We brought to you last show was the pre-draft show, where we decided, we took all the information, who we thought the Steelers would pick, and we did. I believe we did a great job.
Yeah, actually, I thought we were close on a lot of things. I mean, you can take time and look at it yourself and see what you think, but I think we did a pretty good job.
We picked the number one pick. People out there saying, well, you know what? That might be a no-brainer, but folks, it's not. We have over 1,000 people entered in the draft. A lot of things can happen. There were a lot of rumors before. Are the Steelers or will the Steelers trade up for more picks? That almost happened. The talk on the board was the Steelers might go for Tyler Eifert, the tight end from Notre Dame.
Exactly.
That was talk. There's a lot of things going on. There was a lot of... What made it hard for us was because every position out there the Steelers needed to fill.
Right. And the Steelers, they did a very, very good draft. We'll talk about that a little bit more later in the show, but I was very pleased with the draft. And you know what? While the show is going on, let's give thanks to everyone out there. Mother's Day, just passed. You know what? We all spent time with our mothers. I hope you did too. We did here on Steeler Nation Live. Big O, how was your day with your mom yesterday?
It was a great day. Actually, it was 2 days ago, Big Tiz.
Was it?
Yesterday was Monday.
Hey, you're right.
So, it doesn't matter, folks. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Every day should be Mother's Day. You should treat mom with respect, your wife with respect. If you have children, the mother of your children. Every day you should give them your love and respect.
Exactly.
Every day. So I see where you got a little confused there, Big Tiz.
Love should be given to your mother all year round. With that said, we're going to go on here on Steeler Nation Live. But you know what? There's some other things that happened in the NFL over the weekend. Exactly. I don't know if a lot of you have heard. And if you haven't, it was the death of Jack Butler. Big-time defensive back for the Pittsburgh Steelers. This guy did a lot of things for the Steelers, especially back in the heyday with the Steelers, you know. Well, not heyday, but, you know, back in the day, the 50s, when rock hard, solid hitting was there, this guy was one who put it up there. A defensive back for the Steelers. He just passed just recently, and it was a sad thing to see him go.
And because of that, Big Tiz and I put a little tribute together all about Jack Butler, how he became a Steeler, and who actually found him. I believe it was the Rooneys who found him.
Exactly.
And just sit back and watch this little piece we put together. We hope you enjoy it, because we did.
John Bradshaw Butler was born on November 12, 1927 in Pittsburgh. He played sandlot football there and then studied for the priesthood at a seminary. After deciding against becoming a priest, he attended St. Bonaventure and went out for the football team with encouragement from the athletic director, Dan Rooney, the brother of Steelers owner, Art Rooney, who had been ordained as a Franciscan priest and who was known as Father Silas. At 6 feet 1 inch and 200 pounds, Butler was an outstanding end at St. Bonaventure University near Olean, New York, then was given a tryout with the Steelers in 1951. He made the team as an end, but was switched to defensive halfback, the forerunner of the cornerback position, to replace an injured player. He was a first-team All-NFL player 3 times, made the Pro Bowl 4 times, and was elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2012. Jack Butler, who was ignored in the National Football League draft but became a Hall of Fame defensive back with the Pittsburgh Steelers and was chosen for the league's all-decade team of the 1950s, died in Pittsburgh. He was 85. In 9 seasons with the Steelers, Butler intercepted 52 passes in 103 games, running 4 of them back for touchdowns. He retired as number 2 on the league's career list behind Elam Tunnell, who had 79 interceptions for the Giants and Green Bay Packers. Butler shares the league's single-game interception record with many players, having picked off 4 passes against the Washington Redskins in 1953. Butler was renowned for his toughness at a time when defensive backs had fewer restrictions in their tussles with receivers. Don Joyce, a longtime Baltimore Colts defenseman from Butler's era, wrote in recommending Butler for the Hall of Fame. There were almost no rules in the 1950s and not many officials. These guys were tough. Jack Butler personified the era.
All right, guys, we are back here on Steeler Nation Live. Big Tiz, Big O. That piece on Jack Butler, inspiring. Like I said, this guy, he came out, he did what he had to do. Defensive back for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Sad to see him go Hall of Famer for the Steelers as well.
Hall of Famer, found by the Rooneys, born November 1927, passed away May 11, 2013. So, with that being said, a little tribute, nice tribute. Big Tiz, we signed a lot of people.
Exactly.
Not to mention the 9 draft picks, the main ones that we're going to get into later on the show. But we signed a lot of undrafted, restricted free agents. Why don't you give a couple the rookie free agents?
Well, actually, you know what? The Steelers, they agreed to terms of 15 of their free agent rookies. And actually, let's start off with their Steelers #1 draft choice, Jarvis Jones. They signed his #1 pick. And the Steelers are trying to get everybody in the camp and get them signed early. That's one thing I like about the Steelers. They're not messing around this year. They know these guys have to be met with these needs. And also running back Le'Veon Bell, 2nd round pick. Steelers got him signed. Wide receiver Marcus Wheaton. I'm going to say it later on in the show. You got to wait and see it. But this guy, I think, is going to be an impact player for the Steelers. Safety Shamarko Thomas. Great find. This guy from Syracuse, he's going to be a big-time hitter. And that added with, our defensive backs that, we had lost a lot in that area. So, you know what? We need a big-time hitter just like this guy. And the quarterback, Landry Jones. Beautiful pick. You need to bring somebody in to mold him right behind Roethlisberger. And this is the guy. Like I said, you need somebody who can be molded. Take the time with them. Not somebody who's going to come in and start. So, Steelers, much kudos to you guys for having that pick right there. Cornerback, Terry Hawthorne. 5th pick of the Steelers. Wide receiver, Justin Brown. And linebacker Vince Williams, 6th pick with the Steelers. And don't forget, defensive end, Nicholas Williams, 7th round pick for the Steelers. The Steelers, the draft this year was beautiful. And like I said, with the pick in the position that the Steelers were in, I'm amazed that they got these picks.
Absolutely. And Williams, you just mentioned the last pick from Sanford College. Now,
Right.
I'd never heard of Sanford College until we started looking into the draft in these small schools. And we're going to get more in depth later on, Mr. Williams. But we also signed a lot of undrafted rookies.
Exactly.
Okay. We'll take like defensive end Brian Arnfeld from Northwestern.
Mm-hmm.
Great kid. He has a lot of abilities that he can show with the Steelers. This is the kind of linebacker the Steelers like. Alan Baxter, Northern Illinois. Nick Embernate, San Diego State. Wide receiver Reggie Dunn. Now, for those of you folks who have the time during commercials, look this kid up. Big Tiz is going to talk about him. An automatic steal.
That's my guy.
Automatic
Big-time
steal.
impact for the Steelers. Wait.
Big Tiz will talk about him, and you'll probably see some video later. Cordian Higgins, Louisiana Lafayette. Guard, Chris Hubbard, UAB. Defensive tackle, Omar Hunter from Florida. Long snapper, Luke Ingram from Hawaii. Now, anybody follows that division with Hawaii, this kid is amazing. He can snap a football through a basketball hoop. This kid is unbelievable. But a couple of the picks that I'm very impressed with. Mike Golick Jr., son of Mike Golick, Chicago Bear, All-Star, Hall of Famer, Pro Bowler, ESPN analysis, whatever you want to call him, this guy is great. If you ever watch his son, it's watching a mirror image of his father. Great
Exactly.
pickup. I'm so glad the Steelers got him. And you know what? I heard rumor that Mike Golick is very happy that he landed out with the Steelers because of what the Steelers are about, the organization, what they do with
Right.
their players and how they groom them. It's fantastic.
And if he can bring that same intensity like his father did, like I said, we got us a heck of a player on our hands for the Steelers.
Absolutely, and I don't want to leave out running back Curtis McNeil, USC.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for those of you on the West Coast who like that kind of offense, the Pac-10, UCLA, all their players, the running back from UCLA who just got picked up by I believe it was from Green Bay, we were looking at, he was on our radar. Amazing. And also wide receiver J.D. Woods, West Virginia. The mountain guys, West Virginia. This kid can play. So we did a lot of work. The Steelers did a lot of work,
Mm-hmm.
and it was because they knew what their needs were.
Right.
This was a draft where there was no luxury pick because we didn't have the luxury. We needed every position we needed to fill. We filled.
Exactly.
And then some. We need to add a lot of depth. Wide receiver position and linebacker position. Also defensive end position.
Well, now, with the draft gone by and a lot of the picks that came in and people looking at their picks and seeing why they picked this guy or why they picked that guy, we go, let's give them some of what we think are some of the players out there in this draft that will have an immediate impact on the Steelers' offense or defense this year.
Okay, let's start off with the first round pick, Jarvis Jones from Georgia. Now, we all know, don't listen to anybody, we know why he was picked. He was picked to replace James Harrison.
Right.
Now, we know Worlds is there, but there's nothing given in the Steelers organization. That's why there's so much depth. That's why Steelers mold and groom these players to how they want them to be. It's not going to be depicted by the player where they're going to go. It's how the Pittsburgh Steelers want you to go or where they want you to go. And just the battle between Worlds and Jarvis Jones, I believe it's just going to be formality.
Right.
Because when the impact that this young player is going to be on the Steelers defense, this is what they need, and I'll tell you why, folks. He is tenacious. He can get to the quarterback, the running back. He can create turnovers. He can create sacks. That will alleviate the pressure that the cornerbacks and the safeties are feeling because there's no pressure on the quarterback. Instant impact. Jarvis Jones.
I like that. I'm looking at someone, like I said, from Marcus Wheaton. This guy is unbelievable. Like I said, when this guy gets there, I think he's going to step in and he's going to make you believe. What about Mike Wallace? Mike Wallace who? That's what you might get from this guy. Like I said, 5'9", can catch the ball, catch anything around the area. Like I said, unbelievable talent. Just wait. This guy's going to make a big impact on the Steelers.
And another impact player, and we're not necessarily going down the line, is Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon likes his money, and I'll tell you what, he's going to make it here in Pittsburgh. This is the running back that is going to surpass Jerome Bettis the bus. This guy, 6'1", 230 pounds from Michigan State. Anybody up there in that conference knows what this guy could do. He led the country in rushing, yards, attempts. And this is a guy that we need to punish those defenders that just run up the middle, bam, bam, bam. However, with good stuff comes bad stuff. And I think this is what Pittsburgh is going to realize they're going to have to work on with him. He lacks that breakaway speed that the bus had.
Right.
But you know what? Le'Veon Bell, he's young, and working with the organization like the Steelers, he can alleviate those problems. And also, when he gets to the line and the hole's closed, he's inconsistent. He doesn't know what to do. He hesitates. Therefore, you know what happens? We get loss of yards. But with his size and his stature, I believe he's going to be an impact player right away in the backfield. We got Dwyer, we got Redmond. We have running backs right now, but this is the bulldozer we need. Johnson, he's playing too much tight end, fullback, I don't know what I am, but this is your everyday, every down player, and that's what Steelers need. Redmond's not, Dwyer's not. This guy is the every down player.
Exactly, and you're right. And that's the type of player we do need for the Steelers. And like I said, I've seen this guy play. This guy gives you that shade, like he said, that shade, that memory of Jerome Bettis. A power runner, quick feet, pick up yards, get the goal line yards we need, in for the touchdown. This is a guy, great pick for the Steelers.
I would say you can probably compare him to that running back from Baltimore. We all know who he is. And the only thing he lacks from that comparison is that breakaway speed. But that's something you could learn, that's something you can gain, that's something you could train and work on.
Exactly, exactly. If you get a chance, look at this guy and look at his game. And the guy is exceptional. Like I said, especially for his size, he's a hurdler too. So like I said, defenders coming at him, I've seen this guy jump over people. You got to check him out.
Now, here's a surprise pick that surprised me, and I know it surprised you. 4th round, Steelers traded up to the Cleveland Browns. We gave away our 3rd round pick for next year, which really isn't saying much because with the picks we got this year, next year's draft isn't gonna matter because I'll tell you 2 reasons. 1, with this draft we got this year, and 2, when you win the Super Bowl, you're really not going to be around to get that many draft picks.
Exactly.
So when we win the Super Bowl this year, which I know we will, you saw it here live, Steeler Nation Live, Big O predict we will win the Super Bowl this year, and next year draft picks we won't need them because these young men are going to be around for a long time.
Right.
And like I was saying before I like broke everything up, Shamarko Thomas, 4th round pick, 4th, 8th. This is the kind of safety that we're going to need in the future. Who knows how long Troy's going to be around?
Exactly.
Who knows how long Clark's going to be around? I'm assuming a couple more years.
Right.
This is the kind of guy, special teams, run down the field like a torpedo, and he'll hit you. Okay? He's the kind of guy, if Troy gets hurt, if Clark gets hurt, this guy will come in and be immediate impact player. Problem? We all have problems. We got pros, we got cons. His cons is he really likes to go for that big hit. Sometimes he misses. Sometimes you got to go for that sure interception. And sometimes he wants to make you feel his presence other than try and get that interception, but he'll hit you. That's his only downfall.
Well, like I said, in any event, at this moment, going through this young stage, what he's going through now as growing and learning the game, he can come in and get some very good fill-in minutes, for Palomalo. And when you got a guy who's at 5'9", 213 pounds, this guy brings a load. And like I said, all you have to do is let a receiver feel it one time, and the middle is all yours, guys. Like I said, ask Palomalo. He does it to everybody all the time.
That's true. And he just resembles Palomalu early. He's all over
Right.
the field. He wants to let you know that he's there, and you're going to feel it. You're going to think twice next time you come across the middle
Exactly.
and you're being led by the quarterback. You better have your chin strap on because to tell you what, your helmet's coming off. Even with the new rule. Even with the new rule. Now we also signed players that need be, if they're inserted right now, can be impact players.
Exactly.
But here's some players that we hope we don't see for a while. And the big one is quarterback Landry Jones from Oklahoma. Now 6'4", 265 pounds.
Oh, no. That's a little heavy for him. He's 225.
225. Good call.
Yep.
Good call. That's why Big Tiz is here to lead the way. 225, 6'4", still a big kid. Young man.
Exactly. Those are Roethlisberger numbers right there.
That's right. But with other quarterbacks, people were saying, why did we get Landry Jones when you have quarterbacks like Tyler Bray, who is professed to be the most intelligent quarterback on the board, left on the board from Tennessee, or Zach Dicer, the guy who's supposed to predecess him, or did in Miami of Ohio, broke all of his records. He was on our radar. We predicted the Steelers to pick him, but they didn't. With that being said, the reason why the Steelers, I believe,
Right.
picked Landry Jones because he's the quarterback of the future. He's somebody who can be that number 2 quarterback. We got Bruce Gradkowski. We signed him. That was a great signing as well. Back up Big Ben.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the quarterback who can come in and fight for that number 2 spot. However, if you see him playing, that's not a good sign, which means Ben is hurt. And we can eliminate that by protecting Ben. But he could be an impact player if he's thrown into it.
Right.
We don't want to see him in there. Down the road, I believe this is a good decision for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Well, yeah, and like I said, it's a very good decision because Roethlisberger's not getting any older. I mean, getting any younger. Excuse me. He's getting older, and with older people, it comes injuries, especially the little small injuries, the day-to-day things, especially from being out there getting hit on the field as much as he did last year or the last 4 or 5 years. And you can see the progressions of his body breaking down. And that's why right now it's that time for the Steelers to put somebody in there who they can mold and mature and get this guy to be ready to step in. So when Ben does get to that point in his career where he's about to retire, I believe Ben is in 8 or 9 years in the league right now. So this is the right time to bring somebody in and groom them. So I much kudos again to the Steelers on a great pick, especially for a quarterback.
Right. Plus, with the Tyler Bray and the Zach Dyser, they're quarterbacks that teams need now. Now, by Pittsburgh overlooking that, that's showing Ben, it's showing us and Ben's fans that we're not giving up on Ben just yet. He's got 2 to 3 more good years. I'm not saying that he has only 3 years, but we're talking solid 2 to 3 years. He stays healthy. These other quarterbacks that help those other teams who need quarterbacks now. Landry, sit back, watch the show, learn from Ben, and hopefully be better than Ben
Right.
when he gets to that position. And there's also a couple other players that we signed in the first round.
Right.
Terry Hawthorne, cornerback.
Exactly.
Now, we all know that he's not going to be an instant starter. He's got to compete with Cortez Allen, Ike Taylor, and Willie Gay.
Right. One thing I do like about this guy is he has the size right now what the Steelers need out there, because we do have some shorter DBs on our team, and this guy is 6 foot, 195 pounds, which is a great size for a cover corner going against some bigger receivers. So like I said, this can kind of help with the Steelers, and hopefully they can mold him into that process of what it needs to be and what it means to be a Steeler, bringing him in, physical play, but also great coverage at the same time.
And also, what he brings to the table is competition. Not only do Cortez Allen, Ike Taylor, and Willie Gay have to compete amongst themselves,
Right.
now we got this young draft pick coming in, bigger, possibly stronger, maybe quicker. We don't know how he's going to be at training camp this year.
And also, we had Justin Brown, young receiver for the Steelers, was also picked up in this draft. 6'3", great height, 207 pounds. This guy can be a force. Like I said, out of Oklahoma. You know, Oklahoma's not known for, throwing the ball a lot, but you know what? This guy's a great hand. So like I said, he could be a great added addition to the Steelers' wide receiving core. And it wouldn't hurt to have another Brown on the team.
That's true. Also what it does is he's an excellent slot receiver. What he can do is if Brown or Sanders move outside, he could step in, fill their role, and also him and Plaxico. It's almost like a double tight end.
Oh,
Can you imagine that?
exactly.
With just the height, red zone.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm really, really excited about our wide receiving core this year. I mean, these guys, I'm pretty excited, and I hope that everything pans out, because right now we are in a good position right now to have some dynamic receivers, especially when the Steelers go to that 5 receiver set.
Oh yeah, it's going to be amazing. Who are we going to cover? I mean, it's the not knowing
Exactly.
for the defense, the not knowing what this kid can do, what Wheaton can do, and you put these kids in there. We're going to see a lot of that. A lot of the 5 receiver packages in training camp. We don't want to give too much away, but you're not going to know until you can show.
Exactly.
And that's what training camp's all about. Also, we got 2 more people we got to talk about. Vince Williams, inside linebacker of Florida State. Now, this was a little odd. I was kind of curious why they decided to pick this guy. When we have Sean Spence, pretty much identical
Right.
in stature, in size, in athletic ability. However, remember, Sean Spence had that knee injury that kept him out
a very
all last
devastating
year.
knee injury.
Very devastating, and we still don't know the outcome if he's going to be ready by training camp. Now, what I like about this kid from Florida State, he's tenacious. He's always in that backfield. He is small, which is not really a good thing for an inside linebacker, except he can plug holes, he can find holes, he can get through holes, and he can get into the backfield. He can tackle.
Exactly.
He's a lot better tackler than Foot. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But-
Well, Foot, like I said, Foot is more or less like he's like a contained type linebacker. But he has done his job. But the thing about it is, we need somebody that's going to get in there with speed to attack the quarterback or attack the running back in the backfield.
And not to mention, not to forget, he's a great special teamer.
Exactly.
Speed, size, and strength. I feel sorry for you if you're receiving that ball on a punt or a kick. And last but not least, we got another Williams, Nick Williams.
Exactly.
And he's from Sanford College. Now, we talked about this before in previous shows that the Steelers like to go out and find talent. Steelers don't go out and find big school talent. They like to find talent they can mold
Exactly.
like clay and mold him the way that the Steelers want him to play. And he's just, the only thing that he can, right now, he's just a depth player. Okay? With Hampton gone, McClendon playing above average, we don't know how long that's going to last. And Taumau, let's not forget about him. I think he's on probation for 18 months. I don't know if he's going to see any jail time if he violates probation. But we have a lot of things going on. So this kid might see some action this year. I believe in training camp he'll see some action. But I really don't think we're going to see this kid for another year or two unless we have some issues, some serious problems, some serious injuries at the defensive end or nose tackle position.
I agree with you totally there. Now there was a lot of great picks right there. These are a lot of guys that are going to have immediate impact on the league this year. What we want to know is how this draft will affect the 2013 season for the Steelers. And Big O, let's get a real quick feed on that before we go to commercial, folks.
Okay, let's start with the defense. We talked about Jarvis Jones, how I talked about his immediate impact is going to be as that pass rusher. Now, because of his strength, but not his size, but his speed, his ability to get to the backfield and create havoc, to get to the quarterback, get the quarterback off their rhythm, will release some pressure from the cornerbacks, the inside linebackers, and the safeties from covering, get the receivers off their route.
Right.
And that's a huge, huge impact on defense. Now, with him in the scene, that's going to have worlds. He's got to step up. Let's not forget Lamar Woodley on the other side.
Exactly.
Okay, we forget about him. We can't forget about him because when he wasn't in the backfield, Harrison was, and vice versa. And we could always flip-flop. That's, defense. And like Shamarko Thomas, the safety, if Troy can't pull his weight, if he gets hurt, Clark, if he gets hurt, Shamarko Thomas, safety from Syracuse, he can immediately step in there. So now we're looking at all the defensive aspects that we were lacking last year due to injuries, due to players not being able to play.
Right.
And the practice players, the players on the bench not being able to step up and fill those roles. So, and not to mention Willie Gay coming back, ex-Steeler. All that stuff, adds up. People don't realize that if you can get to the quarterback a little faster and put some more pressure on, that eliminates a lot of pass routes that the guys have been finding wide open. That's on the defensive side of the ball. What about the offense? What do you think, Big Tiz, on the offense?
Well, now the offensive side of the ball is what I want to talk about tonight. The offensive side of the ball, you get along with these receivers. Like I said, these 5 wide receiver sets are going to be deadly, and these sets are going to have a lot of these guys that you've seen that were drafted in this draft. Now, Justin Brown, like we said earlier, 6th round choice for the Steelers. This guy is 6'3", 207 pounds. Like I said, he's just a younger version of
Plaxico
Burress, excuse me. He's a younger version of Plaxico Burress. And this guy, he knows how to get to the ball. Very good pick for the Steelers. And if you go to Marcus Wheaton, 5'9" receiver, blazing speed, like I said, it's going to make you forget Wallace.
Who?
That's what I said.
Damn, beautiful.
And that's what the Steelers need right now, is everybody's hyped up on the loss of Wallace, and this guy's going to step in, and this guy's going to make you guys forget about Wallace. So mark my words, he is the man. And also, with the undrafted guy, Reggie Dunn. Reggie Dunn, 5'9", 178 pounds from Utah. This guy, blazing speed, 4.2, unbelievable. Like I said, Wallace 4.3, 4.2, kick returner, and also can be converted to a wide receiver on a 5 wide out set. So don't forget that. Who are you going to cover? Exactly what Big O alluded to earlier. Who are you going to cover?
That's
right.
right.
Like I said, the Steelers are going to be deadly this year. And if they make it to the Super Bowl, which I think they will, I think they're a lock.
Don't forget the rushing attack. Le'Veon
Bell.
Le'Veon likes his money. And with that kind of rushing attack, to help out Dwyer and Redmond, that every down back that we're missing is here.
Hey, you said it here, you guys. We love how everything is going here on Steeler Nation Live. The picks, all the immediate impact these guys are going to have. But you know what? We're going to go to commercial.
Before we go to commercial, we left out special teams and a signing of Brian Mormon, punter, special team. This is one of the. I can't explain it. Why would the Dallas Cowboys release this punter? I don't even know why the Bills released him.
Exactly.
One of the
Long
best,
time, Bill.
One of the best punters in NFL history, surpassing Ray Guy, I believe, in my book. And we signed him. He's on the team, and punting on fourth down, it's not going to be a scary thing anymore for Pittsburgh. And we'll allude to that later. We'll talk about that later when we come back from the commercial. Brian Mormon, welcome to Pittsburgh. We'll be back. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, look no further than Dan Powell. Dan knows that buying or selling a home is one of the most important things you will ever do. Dan wants to make that experience as smooth and successful as possible. Dan's extensive expertise in the real estate market will benefit you whether you're looking to buy or sell a home. Once Dan knows what you want, he will work tirelessly to find the right home for you, because no one should compromise when it comes to such a huge purchase. Whether you're looking for homes for sale, moving resources, or even mortgage information, everything you need is right here with Dan. Dan will always be available for personal service by phone or email, so feel free to contact him with questions at any time. So when buying or selling a home, don't get frustrated or throw in the towel. Just call Dan Powell at 585-704-8324. That's 585-704-8324, or email Dan at dan@rochhomefinder.com. That's Dan at ROCHOMEFINDER.com. At Grease Lightning, we offer fast automotive service, specializing in oil changes and auto repairs. We offer convenient yet comprehensive maintenance and repair service, fast and no appointment necessary. At Grease Lightning, we offer the best prices on top name brands. We get you in, out, and on your way, just like Grease Lightning. Grease Lightning is locally owned and operated, so come on down to 2061 Chiley Avenue here in Rochester and talk to Charles, because he's in charge. You can also call Charles at 585-563-7939 or go to our website at mygreaselightning.com. We talked about during the show about what a great job that the Steelers did in this draft. What a great job we did trying to guess what the Steelers are going to do this year's draft. Now it's time to grade.
Exactly.
I will let you go first. And what is your grade? How would you grade this draft, and why?
Well, I'm going to give the Steelers a B+. And the reason I said a B+ because the Steelers filled a lot of needs out there, especially, and the way they filled the needs were excellent. I mean, you can't be perfect on everything. That's why they didn't reach the A level, because this was pretty close. But the reason I said that, because there were some players that, you know, you have to get just to mold them. And I see that in a lot of the lower picks that they did, which is fine. But these lower pick guys, hopefully, and I'm hoping that a lot of them will pan out. And a good example of that, and I alluded to earlier, is a lot of it was like Justin Browns and the Terry Hawthorns, those guys that we hope can mold and become great Steelers. But like I said, if you go to the upper echelon of players like Jarvis Jones and Le'Veon Bell, you know, these are great picks for the Steelers, and the Steelers filled all those needs. Landry Jones, great pick, has to be molded and can be molded behind Ben, but a great pick nonetheless. Like I said, it wasn't an A+ because, you know, there's some pitfalls in there that can be mended, but great draft, B+.
Well, Big Tez, I'm going to agree to disagree on this with you. I'm going to give the Steelers an A-.
Oh.
An A-. And the reason, because, as we discussed earlier, we had pretty much every hole to fill, and the Steelers did it, and they did it well. They didn't lose a draft pick. They didn't trade up to get, except for Shamarko Thomas, which we could have got a top-notch safety had we not done that. However, we did, and we got a great choice. We gave up a third-round draft pick next year to the Browns. Big deal. Okay, With that being said, why I gave them a minus is because we really didn't secure a tight end. There's a lot of tight ends on the board. We didn't get the Eifert.
Right.
We didn't get the tight end from Stanford. There was a lot of tight ends we could have grabbed.
Right.
But we grabbed Williams, defensive end from Stanford, because we need to shore up some more depth with the defensive end position, nose tackle position. I see it. You can't have a perfect draft. I don't care what you say. That's why I'm giving them the minus.
Okay.
Out of all those draft picks, 4
Right.
can be starters. 5 or 6 can be starters on any other team. With that being said, with all our impact players we have now on the Steelers roster, now we got the rookies we just signed. 3 of them can be starting players now, and because of that, not too many drafts other than a team like I don't know, a team with the worst record in football, or a team with a mediocre record, or somebody who needs everybody to step up
Right.
and take position out there. Pittsburgh can do that with or without the draft picks, and because Heath Miller's injury, we don't know when Heath is coming back.
Right.
Injury is more serious than was predicted earlier, but we also have Polson. We have yet to see what Polson could do because of Heath Miller and his presence last year until he got hurt.
Exactly.
So, in essence, Polson could be, if you want to look at it this way, in a positive way, that he's this year's draft pick as a tight end, because he is going to get that starting position, that starting role that Heath Miller vacated or avoided being hurt. So I give him an A-.
Hey.
And I don't think we mentioned this earlier, but Le'Veon Bell, he's a kind of rusher, kind of running back that fits perfectly with Todd Haley's scheme. And I believe this is why the Steelers picked him. In addition to that what impressed the Steelers most about Bell was his yards after getting hit. Most guys hit, fall down.
Very physical.
Very physical, 6'1", 230 pounds. If he can't run over you, he's going to run through you. And I believe this was a great pick, even though there was other running backs out there. Lacey Adams.
Right.
But when you start looking at his chart and all these injuries start popping up that weren't disclosed, the latest one was the turf toe. You can't take chances. This kid is healthy, injury-free, knock on wood, and let's see what this kid can do. A- Pittsburgh Steelers.
Hey, you heard it here. B+, A-. Either way you do it, it's a great grade for the Steelers. Like I said, you couldn't be happier with this draft that just came out. But like I said, we're going to go to commercial. When we come back from commercial, we're going to tell you who do we think here on Steeler Nation Live is going to be our breakout player for 2013. Next up on Steeler Nation Live.
Honey, I just found a great new place to take us out to eat for breakfast. Critics Restaurant, 906 West Main Street, Rochester, New York. Critics is the ultimate in family breakfast dining. And if you're a Steeler fan, hey, you found the right place, Critics Restaurant. Critics Restaurant has been a neighborhood fixture in Rochester, New York for over 40 years. Good food, good fun. Critics Restaurant, 906 West Main Street. Come check us out.
Uniform Express, located on 1408 Buffalo Road, Rochester, New York, for your police, fire, or EMS supplies. One of Rochester's top and finest suppliers of shirts, pants, shoes, boots, and accessories for your professional uniform needs. Uniform Express also does embroidery and screen print for team uniforms, jerseys, and corporations. Hours are Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can also go to their website at www.uniformexpress.com or call Brian at 585-529-4245. That's 585-529-4245. And let Brian know you heard his ad on our show, Steeler Nation Live.
Welcome back to Steeler Nation Live. I'm Big O, and my counterpart Big Tiz is standing on the other side of the studio. And right now is the time we do our impact player. This is where of the show that we picked one of the draft picks that we felt was going to have the most impact for the Steelers this season, not next, not down the road, what can be an actual player who will be starting for the Pittsburgh Steelers. My pick was Jarvis Jones, the #1 pick, and the 17th pick actually in the first round from Georgia linebacker. Now, don't be misled, folks. A lot of people are saying that he wasn't picked to replace Harrison. Don't believe the hype, because he was. Just because Worlds is there doesn't mean Worlds is going to be given that position. This is just a formality. The who's going to be at that defensive end position, is it going to be Worlds? Is it going to be Jarvis Jones? And it's going to be Jarvis Jones. He's going to be the impact player because not only is he fast, he's young, he's got the size, and he is known to get in the backfield. He can get to the quarterback. He can make the plays in the backfield. He can create havoc for quarterbacks. He can get them off their rhythm. This is the guy that the Steelers are going to use, and he is going to be the biggest impact player for the Steelers, and I do believe he's going to start. The last player to start off a draft was Marquise Pouncey in 2010. And David DeCastro, he was set last year to be the next starting player for the Steelers from the draft. However, due to his bad knee injury in a preseason game at Buffalo, he had to sit out most of the season. But Jarvis Jones, do not be fooled. He is going to be the Steelers' impact player of the year. Big Tiz?
Hey guys, Big Tiz here. I'm going to give you who I think is going to be my 2013 biggest impact player for the Steelers this year. And I'm going to go with Marcus Wheaton. 5'9" receiver, excellent hands, 172 pounds. This guy's a speed burner, like I said. And I said through the whole show, he's going to make Mike Wallace be a foregone conclusion. And also, we got coming out of Utah, Reggie Dunn. This guy is going to be amazing, like I said, blazing speed. 4.2. You know, Mike Wallace was a 4.3. This guy is a 4.2 speed burner. This guy can take that kickoff return. Actually, this guy's been known to take 4 kickoffs in 1 year, 100 yards back for a touchdown. Unbelievable, an unbelievable talent, and the Steelers got him. So like I said, this year my biggest impact players are going to be Marcus Wheaton, wide receiver, and Reggie Dunn, kickoff return specialist. Mark my words, these guys are going to be the bigger impact players for the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2013.
It's McGinnis Sports Pub, located at 2246 East River Road. A perfect blend of Irish charm and Italian cuisine. From Calabria favorites like calamari to chicken French to the new signature dish like the Steel City Deli.
The Rothless Burger.
Everything is delicious and prepared fresh for you. They offer a full lineup of your favorite beverages with drink specials daily, and don't forget their $5 Monster Bomb.
Ice cold beer.
All day, every day. With 2 floors of seating and 20 high-def televisions, there's not a bad seat in the house to catch every minute of the NFL action.
Watch what you want.
McGinnis is the official home of the Rochester Steelers fan club.
Steelers!
So come on down to McGinnis Sports Pub, 2246 East River Road in Henrietta.
At Grease Lightning, we offer fast automotive service, specializing in oil changes and auto repairs. We offer convenient yet comprehensive maintenance and repair service, fast and no appointment necessary. At Grease Lightning, we offer the best prices on top name brands. We get you in, out, and on your way, just like Grease Lightning. Grease Lightning is locally owned and operated, so come on down to 2061.
Welcome back to Steeler Nation Live. Big Tiz, Big O. Like I said, the show tonight was epic. The draft 2013 for the Steelers was epic. You know what? We're going to start this off with our final thoughts tonight. I'm going to give you my rated the Steelers a B+. Number 1, because the Steelers had a lot of needs, and a lot of the needs were actually met. The run game, Le'Veon Bell, devastating pick, great runner, fast, great jumper. This guy's going to be amazing when he gets out there for the Steelers. The Steelers picked a lot of players I could see as long-term remedies, which was the Landry, the quarterback. This guy from Oklahoma is going to be, he's 6'4", 225-pound, Roethlisberger type numbers, the height, the weight. This guy's got an amazing arm, so I think he's going to do well for the Steelers. I think overall the Steelers did everything in this draft that he had to do. I'm very, very impressed with this draft that the Steelers did this year, and I can actually see these guys coming in and stepping in and doing and filling the needs the Steelers need them to fill, especially on a way to a championship. So I can't see anything for the Steelers this year but a Super Bowl. Mark my words. I started off saying maybe a 6-10 for the Steelers, but after this draft, I'm looking more of like maybe 11-5 with these guys stepping in and doing some damage. So I can see the Steelers getting into the playoffs, getting to the AFC Championship, a rough, close game in the AFC Championship, but the Steelers winning outright in the Super Bowl. So that's my pick for the Steelers. Great draft. Super Bowl or bust. That's the way I'm looking at it.
No, I couldn't agree with you more, Big Tiz. And it's hard to go after what Big Tiz said, and I'm going to right now. I gave them an A-, and pretty close. And let's break it down. Let's take the defensive needs. What did we need in defense? We needed a defensive end to replace James Harrison.
Exactly.
We needed some inside linebacker help, which we did. We needed a cornerback. We needed a safety.
Right.
Now, these are all great picks. These weren't picks just to fill positions because we needed a safety. We've got this guy. We need a cornerback. We got this guy. We need defensive end. We got this guy. We got impact players, like I said earlier, that need be, if they had to go and play today, that they'd be able to. They're not going to stay too much on the practice squad. They're not going to stay too much on the bench. These are the players that will play, and this was impressed me the most. Let's switch on the other side of the ball, the offense. We needed that big-time, every-down rusher, and we got that from Le'Veon Bell from Michigan State, 6'1", 230 pounds. He's a bulldozer. He doesn't have the breakaway speed yet because he was more his style of play is just running you over, getting that yard, getting the yard that you needed for the first down. He broke away a couple times, but he never made it in the end zone. But you know what? This is what impressed the Steelers most was the yards after the initial hit. And this guy was just running over people. Marcus Wheaton, wide receiver, Oklahoma State. He's got the size. He's got the talent. I would call him a smooth receiver. Why would I call him smooth receiver? Because when he goes and does his routes, he flows. He's very intelligent, very smart, and he knows what to do when he gets down there. He can beat you long. He can beat you short. He's hard to cover. Great catch.
I like it. I like it. I like it.
So not to mention the special team signing of Brian Moorman, punter, is going to help us out immensely in that position because I don't know about you, Big Tiz, when it was fourth down and we were punting, sometimes I didn't look. I don't know.
Us both.
Kicking game is still there. Swisham is still there. I mean, we don't have any really problems with that. But overall, the Steelers went out there knowing they had to get these players to fill these positions. They did it, and they did it well. Not only did they fill these positions, they filled them with impact players, players that can play tomorrow, not next year, not 2 years down the road. And like we talked about earlier, Landry Jones, quarterback, Oklahoma, big size. You put it Roethlisberger size. He's got quick release, and this is what impressed the Steelers with Todd Haley, his new offense. He wanted a quarterback with a quick release, and this kid has it. The only problem with him is that when the pocket begins to collapse or starts to collapse, he collapses. We need to work on that, and the O-line needs to protect him better.
Exactly.
Than they protect Ben, and they need to protect Ben this year. And if you see Landry Jones in the game this year, not a good sign. And I do believe that he is going to battle out for the number 2 quarterback. Don't be surprised if he passes Gradkowski. Heck, I'd like to be a third stringer on the Steelers. I'm on the Steelers. I'm happy. Can I do better? Do I want to do better? Yeah. But you know what? You got to take it. You got to know your role.
Exactly.
And like I said, I concur. The Steelers will be in the Super Bowl this year. They will win the Super Bowl this year. I predicted an 11-5 season. I said it before in a pre-draft show.
Yes, you did.
I think you just
I amped up to it.
you amped up to it. And folks, we want to hear from you. What are your opinions on the draft? How do you think the draft went? Where do you think we're going? You can take a survey on our website, www.steelnationlive.net. Survey down in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. Click on, let us know your thoughts. What record do you think we're going to have this year? And there's many options. You can email us at bigo@steelnationlive.net.
Big Tiz is
steelnationlive.net. Email us. Just, we're on Facebook. Be our fan. Friend us. Look for us. We're always giving out details on a daily basis of what's
Exactly.
going on. And in Rochester, you know, I haven't said anything about the weather yet, and you're looking
He
at
loves
me,
a good weather
and I
report,
know
guys.
you're looking at me. Don't say anything about the weather, but you know what, Big Tiz? I got you right now. Last week it was 80 degrees. Today it's 30 degrees. The only place, Rochester, where you can get frostbite and sunburn in the same day. But with that being said, we hope that you guys tune in. We're going to be kicking off the season. Training camp coming soon in a couple of months.
That's right.
Check the website for updates. We might have little blurbs, little videos of us keeping you informed. Check us out, www.steelnationlive.net. Check us out. I'm Big O.
I'm Big Tiz. Love to see you, and thanks for joining us on Steeler Nation Live.
Yeah. Shout out to Big Tiz, man. And Big O. It's still a nation, man. Yeah. Big Tiz. Big O. You know what it is, man. It's still a nation, man. Big O. Big Tiz. Big O. Every night on Monday night, man. 7 to 8 on Monday night. Big O. Big Tiz. And this is Stump. And this is still a nation. Big Tiz. Big O. It's Big Tiz. Big O. Still a nation. Big Tiz. Big O. Big Tiz. Big O. It's still a nation, man. Yeah. This is Stump. Big O. Yeah, I had to say it was a stump, man. You know. Cause you know, it is a stump, man. Yeah. Big Tiz. Big O. Big Tiz. Yeah.